let's make it happen, guys. And that's why I brought on this awesome lady, because she is killing it, literally killing it in her home country. And she's doing some awesome things with people out in Senegal who are talented, skilled, and she's getting their product out to new markets. But I'm going to let her tell you for herself. I'm going to bring up the questions I have for her. Okay, awesome. Right, so here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Anyway, let me stop that. Wake up, Jacqueline. Beautiful Ida Dakar. There's the name of her brand. Please, my darling, awesome as you are, I can't wait to see you hopefully in February. Working that one out with our mutual friend. You know who this beautiful lady is that we both love. But tell me about the company. Don't tell me, tell everybody here. There's amazing people here who have yet to start their businesses. Some have great ideas. They've never done anything in Africa before, or they've got desires to, but I want to give them some inspiration of somebody, even yourself as a European, setting up in Africa. We're going to go through all of those challenges and the pros, the cons, all of that. If I do talk extremely fast, then let me know.
No, it's fine, it's fine. No problem.
Cool. But just introduce the company yourself and let people know about the name of the company, what it is that you do.
Yeah, okay, great to be here, and yeah, it will be very exciting. Well, my name is Ida, and my brand is Ida Dakar, and I'm from Denmark, and I work in Senegal mostly. Well, I'm a designer. I design shoes and accessories that are produced in Senegal, in Dakar.
So Ida Dakar. So Dakar as in the city Dakar.
Yes.
And your name is
Ida is my name. Yes.
And you're from Denmark. So some people didn't hear that correctly.
Okay.
My volume up, maybe. I don't know. That's it. Thank you, Oyen, for letting Breshi know.
Yes.
So how did you set up the company? How long has it been around? What product do you do? Give us a bit more information.
Yes, definitely. Well, I have been doing this for 3 years. And I started the company, 3 years ago in Dakar. I have been traveling and also being in Senegal for the last 20 years. I have very good friends there, some of my best friends, and I go there. Well, I love to go there. So this is actually a dream come true for me. I was trained as a designer here in Denmark. And I really actually wanted my different passions to meet as a designer and my love for Senegal and for my friends in Senegal. So that's what happened actually. And I'm so happy about it. I'm so, grateful about that. So for 3 years, I've been working with this, producing shoes in Dakar.
And the shoes, but the ones that I really liked were like not brogues. How would you describe the style of shoes? I'm more of an apparel girl, so the type of shoes that are your classics, and then what else do you do?
Yeah, I do actually styles that are quite almost Scandinavian, I would say, and then they meet with African style or West African style. So it's actually, I have a few just next to me here. You want to see one?
Show. Yes, please.
Okay.
I love these shoes, guys.
I just put a few here. So these are some sneakers.
Awesome. I've never seen these ones before.
These are sneaker shoes. Actually, I should have brought more models. I also have the classic ones, like classic lace-up shoes.
The high tops, yeah.
High tops, sneakers. I also have high heels, boots. We do quite a lot of styles now. We started with just 2 styles, classic lace up, very classic almost broke.
Yes, the brogues are the ones I saw you in that day.
Yeah,
I love them.
And all of them are made with wax print, so West African wax print. So that's very important part of the process of the style. Yeah.
So they are the wax print fabric.
Yes.
When I saw these, right, because I've seen quite a few brands who do shoes with wax prints in Africa, and they're not all very well made, but these ones, because I will check them out, okay, they are very well made.
Very well made, yeah. It's
very
leather,
well made.
leather inside.
See?
It's a leather lining, and then it's fabric, of course, outside. But they are really, they can stand Danish weather, and Danish weather is horrible. so no problem. And they also have leather details outside. And actually, we use surplus materials from Italy, from Italian shoe factories. So it's actually also to like reduce waste. But we buy it in Dakar because we really want to keep, you know, business in Dakar, economic, do our economic stuff in Dakar. So we buy it there, but it's Senegalese who go to Italy and get the materials that we use.
You know what? I'm just going to edit. So we're day 4.
Then I can show some shoes when we are like waiting for.
Okay, won't let me do it because we're still live. Guys, yes, her name is exactly. Thank you, Natasha and Oyin, who put that down as well. You're absolutely correct. So her name is Ida. She's from Denmark, and the brand is called Ida Dakar. It's made in Senegal. Okay, and what I must say, people don't realize this is one thing that I found out. And also, I'm an ambassador for a brand called Olibete, which also do shoes in Ethiopia, I think a little bit in Cameroon as well. And I've worked with a leather organization. I did a program for them for an African fashion competition with them 8 years ago or something. And this company is called Linea Pelle. Linea Pelle do a trade show about leather from all over the world. Italian company based in Milano, but they do this trade show. And the lady who I spoke to, who like was overseeing the project that I have been hired on, you know, explained that, you know, a lot of the leather comes from Africa. So a lot of Italian leather can actually be African leather. Yeah, we don't realize that. But Africa does supply the world with a lot of raw materials, but it's where the leather is tanned or chromed. That's where it ends up being sort of made in. Because if it's produced in Italy, it's been made in Italy.
True, yeah.
Leather is African. So not all, but a lot of it is that you don't even realize, like Nigeria, Cameroon, Ethiopia, Kenya, obviously Senegal, and many other countries in Africa do amazing leather. Not all is high quality, but they produce leather and they export it. A lot of it gets exported. I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight into Africa's textile industry, okay? So Ida, thank you. Put my questions back up. So you make shoes, made so well. You know, people are inspired. They're loving it. They love those shoes. I do too. The ones I saw you in that time I was in CPH, I was in love with, and I knew that I would do something with you at some point. And we've got a longer journey to go, I'm sure. But when you set that up, give us how did you find those suppliers? How did you find the artisans, the makers of your brand? Oh, there's somebody here who's actually a shoe-wear designer as well. She'd probably be quite interested to see examples of other brands. No matter Redwana, Ida does shoes here. You'd be great interested to hear about her story of her brand.
I get them here again.
Yes.
I should have brought more, you know.
I should have asked you for my fault. Yes.
But yeah, you can always check them out. But how did I find the suppliers? I would say if I didn't have the 20 years of like living and being in Senegal, I would have no idea how to do that. So I would have been lost totally. But I was lucky. I have a great network there. So I started to, because I had this idea, can I get my passions to meet? So I started to ask my friends, do you know anyone who makes shoes and who can make this? And I had some ideas, so I showed them. And then I started to ask the tailors I know. Oh, sorry.
No worries.
You fell down.
No worries.
I put you back. And I started to ask people, like ask the tailors, and it actually took me quite a while to find someone, because people, the shoemakers, they are really skilled shoemakers in Senegal, but they usually don't work so much with wax print. Also, not the models I was interested in, and So, but after maybe half a year or something, one of my tailor friends said like, oh, I think I know the guy that you have to talk to. And this was the first guy who and then made the first 10 pair of shoes for me. And when I saw them finished, I was just like, oh, it's amazing. I was so happy. And it actually then, it's another quite long story, but it really took on very fast in Denmark. It kind of exploded. Like
yeah, we're gonna
really
get to
popularity.
we're gonna get to that. Yes,
but it took me a long time. But it started, with one guy, and then he, of course, had the network to find the right people that I'm working with now. But of course, we also worked with people that we had to stop working with, and then we find other people. But now we have a really good team. I think we're still expanding it, but we kind of have the right team now. But if I didn't have the network I had, I would have really needed you. I would really have needed you. but I was lucky. And I really want to help other people also to help you, because you can definitely help someone.
Absolutely, no, bless you. I mean, it's a good valid point, because a lot of people do just go out and then just choose the first person that they find, or they just ask their aunties, their friends, who can I make with? But you said something quite important, is that you had 20 years of going back and forth. You had a network of people that you very, very, that you knew, and they knew other people as well. Yeah. Not everybody is that, and you said you were very lucky. Not a lot of people are that lucky. When I got started, I built my fashion brand in Ghana and Kenya. I got ripped off. That's right, people. In 2009, 10, when I started my business, I got ripped off because I just went with a friend's family member. I didn't even vet them. I didn't ask them the right questions. I didn't make sure that they were professional. I had even done exporting before. I didn't ask them the right questions. So what I did, even this is somebody with all these years of experience in fashion, but I didn't do that. So what I did then is create a system of questions and a process that people have to go through to source their supplier. And this is what my clients are now being, students, are now being trained in doing. They don't fall into traps, okay? Mm-hmm. But not, Ida's story is not a typical story. It can be tough. Finding the right people to work with can be tough. It can be costly.
Okay? It was actually quite tough also. And I must say, I have done a lot of stuff that was waste. I couldn't sell it and stuff. I think it happens to, I don't know, but a lot of people starting something, and everywhere in the world. That's not for Africa. That's everywhere in the world. Like if you're not like really, if you don't know how to like the steps, I didn't know really the steps, even though I'm trained as a designer, but we actually don't know really the steps of working with industry. We're just the creative people. So yeah.
So that's why I now teach you guys, if you're on my group coaching, or if you do, you join up with Spark, these are things you're going to learn. I know Banani was asking me earlier what kind of things are involved. I will go more into that, but not right now, of course. But these are the tools that I equip you with, so you will know the steps to take. Okay. So challenges. We're talking about challenges. It wasn't hard. It wasn't easy. You said it was tough. So just give me about up to 3 challenges that you could say that you faced working in Africa or Senegal in particular.
Yeah, I think I could say it's a challenge, but it didn't cause me like real problems because I know the culture and I know people. But it could be a challenge, like the cultural difference. For instance, there is in Senegal really its age are very important, like how old you are. And
that's an African thing.
Yeah, probably, and I like that. It's really nice. But I'm actually younger than many of the shoemakers, so I really also have to always. I am always respectful. It's super, super important. It's maybe one of the most important things, I think, to be very, very respectful with your makers and the people you work with. But I could imagine someone coming and not being that respectful, and that would cause a big problem, really big challenges. If you don't know the culture, if you think like you can yell at someone older than yourself, no, 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 you cannot. Of course not. But I mean, it wasn't really a challenge for me, I would say, because I knew it. So we always did it really like calm, respectful. Because of course we meet challenges like, in the beginning, okay, I have a short story. In the beginning, I was making these brogue shoes, very classic one, and we didn't have a lot of time for the first production and everyone was just, come on, get the shoes here, we want them. So I was really stressed out and I had to do it in a very short time. And then I chose one print that I really liked, and we ordered 50 pairs of shoes. And of course it doesn't sound maybe like a lot, but when you start up, it's quite a lot actually. And we ordered the 50, actually we ordered several hundred pairs, but in this print, I don't know why, now I do really like different prints for all shoes almost, but at that point I did 50 of the same print. Okay. And when I came to get the 50 pairs, they were like, all the fabric were like crumpled. What do you say? Like it had, it wasn't like nicely put and even, and you know. And I was so surprised because it was really good, skilled shoemaker, and the other shoes didn't have the problem. So I thought, okay, this must be the print. It has something to do with the fabric. Something is not the same as the other one. So, and that we solved like, because I was like, oh my God, it was the kind of a really large production that I just had to, but we just asked the shoemaker, and he's older than me, and he's really good. He's my best shoemaker. I love him. He's so important. I asked him just very calmly, can we just go outside and talk? Because, you know, his apprentice is next to him and the other, you know, people working there. And so we just get outside this workplace. And I just said really calmly, like, okay, we have a problem. I can't sell this in Denmark. I mean, really the quality of how the fabric is on this shoe, it's not possible for me to sell it. So, and he was looking at it and like, yeah. And then he said, okay, I can see that. I can see it has some problems. And it was really in the beginning. And now he knows, like, if he sees a problem, he should, like, tell me before he make 50 pairs, right? But, but he didn't do that, because it's just not how you do it. I mean, the order is 50 pairs, so you make 50 pairs. Like, that's another point. But he said, yeah, I can see what you mean. And then he looked at it a bit and he said, like, I'm making you 50 pairs for you, another print, no worries. Oh, wow. And I was like, what? Wow, that's so amazing. You know, you can imagine our bond was like, of course I said to him, yeah, okay, I pay all expenses, but he gave his work power for free, and we solved the problem, you know, together. And that was, I think, because of like we were both like respectful towards each other and just, you know, calmly solving the problem. That was nice. So, but that could be a challenge if you don't know like how to communicate or, yeah.
I'm so glad you said this because that's another thing. I'll just send some waves to you guys. Have been sending me waves and love. Thank you. And sending Ida love, as she deserves it. See, you did say a couple of things there. One was about relationship, that, you know, it was over time you built the relationship with them. So the way that you communicated with them, you couldn't just go in, you have to understand culture. That's another thing. Communication and culture is so big, and it's all about relationships. And that's something that so within the training that I do, I have one of the modules is on suppliers, sourcing your suppliers, of supplier relationships as your partners. As Yolanda said, partnership is major key here, so suppliers are your partners. And I do in the training, in either the group coach training or the Spark, it's the same teaching throughout. But one of the modules on supplier relationships, these are things that come up, and there's more of these I have for you guys in there to tell you the things you need to look for, the things that you need to have in place, the questions you need to ask, things you need to know beforehand, before you even go in, the paperwork you need to have in place so that you can ask them the right questions, get things signed off, or just the way that you're working. I give you everything that you need so that you know what to look for before you go in, and even when you're there, how to work with them. Ida has learned things by default, and now she's much more experienced. But if you could do that within 3 months of learning, so you can go in rather than 3 years, like it's taken Ida, how would that feel for you? Be
Yeah,
great, right?
I would wish I would have had you when I started. That would have been really nice. But it's actually a really important, maybe the most important thing is to know the people you work with. Like, you, I think know them personally actually, but definitely also know, the culture, the everything about actually the people you work with. And if, I mean, I guess you are also a link for that. I mean, because not everyone maybe is going directly to the makers, but otherwise you will be a great link.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I
sure.
do. I provide guys that on my coaching program, they get supplied with suppliers. And these are ones that I've visited already. I've vetted them. I've worked with them. And I know they do international shipping and they've got experience. So they, whoever works with me will know that they've got that confidence that the suppliers they're getting are good suppliers. But that's some of the challenges that you've mentioned in regards to the relationship and the communication and culture, which is really important. What's some of the positives you found working in beautiful Senegal and the producers there? What's the positives? Run me some great stories.
There are so many positive things. I mean, just going there and having that as such a big part of my life is fantastic. I go there 3 to 4 times a year. So I'm so lucky. I consider myself very lucky. I'm very grateful. One of the very positive things is actually the culture that we have together, like the shoemakers and myself, that every day I go, when I'm there, I go to the workshops and I just hang out actually. And we just drink tea and chat and then look at all the shoes, like look at how can we do this better? What is the, like, we work at the same time, but we are having such a great time also. So it might sound unprofessional, but I don't think it is actually. I think it's strengthening the bonds and also actually making our work better. We are always improving stuff. We are always coming up with new ideas when we are in this relaxed state. And I was just thinking, I don't think if that would happen, like if I worked with like a big factory in China or whatever, that would definitely not be a part of my life. And so that's one of the very positive things. I love working with the shoemakers in Senegal. They're fantastic people, and we do great things together, and we are very proud, all of us. Like, we are all so proud.
Awesome. It just sounds, it's just a wonderful way. When I get out there and I meet these suppliers and makers and artisans, I just fall in love. I'm really in love with the continent, but with the people, oh my gosh, and the things you can just create, the artistic license you can have, the creativity, the innovation, you can just go with things and just make it happen.
Hey, that's another thing. Sorry.
No, go.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
It's one thing that is absolutely fantastic is when I work so closely with actually small workshops. I work with several small workshops. That's how I do it. I have the possibility of making a sketch, going there Monday, and then Tuesday, going there while the shoemaker is working on the prototype. Wednesday, I have a finished prototype. That's amazing. And we can then work on the prototype and adjusting and making it better. But things are happening so fast, and we can really create and be very creative, like in the moment. And that's fantastic. That's
when I get to Africa, because like I said, I'm a designer, and when I did fashion design, the reason I got into it because I love being creative. And being creative is not just sitting behind a computer screen looking at Illustrator and Photoshop. It's being hands-on. Like, I taught myself to sew. I take out clothing, draw around things, and make a pattern and start to sew things. I made dresses for my teddy bears. I never had dolls. So I made dresses and tops and skirts for my teddies. I loved being hands-on as a child, and as I grew, I loved that side of fashion, working on the mannequin, doing some tailored pieces. I'm just creating. So when I get to Africa and I can work with people like that, hey, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Fun. For those who have just joined in, I know a few of you just come on a little bit late. Some of you said, you're going to be a little bit late, but welcome. It's Thursday, and today is is our interview day. So every week on interview a designer or a company who's doing stuff in Africa. Today we have the beautiful Ida. She's from Denmark and she has a brand called Ida Dakar. There she is, a beautifulness.
Thank
And
you.
she produces shoes in made in Senegal. And we're going to go to the next bit because, well, which question first? I was going to ask you. We'll talk about your following and how you build that up, because that's your marketing. But how then you make these gorgeous products, these very popular products, but how do you get them to market? What's your sales channels? What's your route to market? You know, just online, your own store, or you're selling in other people's stores? Please share that with us, please.
Yes. I have a small shop in Copenhagen. And apart from that, but that's quite a bit of my sales. But the biggest sales I have is actually I'm doing events. I've been doing events since I started. That was my first, the first sales channel I had was the events. I call it pop-up shops. So what we do is we find a large space and then we put 1,000 shoes inside that space, 1,000 pairs. And then we invite people, and a lot of people come, of course, and they try on for hours and hours, and some buy 2 pairs or 3 pairs and 4 pairs because they can't choose. So it's fantastic. But it's the sales events that we do. That the thing is, with shoes, you really have to try them on almost. I mean, I have a web shop, but I don't sell the shoes online right now. I used to do it, but then I thought, okay, I have to do it more, adjust it a little bit. So I removed the shoes again, and I'm thinking about coming on with the sneakers, with these online on the web shop, because right now I just have other accessories on the web shop. But we will get sneakers hopefully on the web shop. But the sales events, I can recommend that to people, because it also gives a lot of attention, on social media, and a lot of things going on.
It's amazing.
And you can do also you can have a DJ, you can have things going on.
Event, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we did that, and I invite other brands to join me for the event. So we are a couple of other brands also, usually working with Africa in some way. So that's
cool. Yeah, amazing. These guys, I love them. One just said they just checked out your online store, loving your designs, accessories.
Thank you.
People are loving what they're seeing. So
fantastic.
Now you can see why you're so popular.
And
the other thing is, you've got a great following. You have these events, you're selling products. The brand has been around for 3 years, right? Or was it launched 3 years ago, or you just started to produce? I
started produce 3 years ago. Yeah.
So 2016.
But I 15? Think 16 in April. I had my first sales event, I think, in April 16.
Wow.
Yes.
So 3 years is April. Wow. And you're killing it.
Thank you.
So building your following, did you do something before? Did you have a following? What's been your secret to building your following and getting that interest to come to events? Or is it just Denmark people just love to go out and have a good time and buy cool products? What is it?
Yeah, actually, I don't know but I guess that events will work everywhere, I guess. What I did in the beginning, I was also, again, I must say, I was probably not only lucky, but also quite lucky. I was also good at something, but I was very lucky that it was just the right timing. In the beginning, I just did a photo of my shoes, and these shoes, people didn't see anything like this before in Denmark. So, and because they're so visual, they're so strong visually.
They are.
So that's, of course, perfect for social media. And this picture really catched on. My first sales event, I had that was one of my stories for you.
Okay.
You know, do you want it?
Go for
I can
it.
tell
We
you
want to hear
small
it all,
story.
girl.
Okay, and I also have to say, I hope I don't run out of battery, because I'm also a bit low on battery.
Okay. Yeah,
What do we do? Okay.
Yeah, we're just probably another 10 minutes.
Okay,
Hopefully. You can check
hope.
do you want to check your battery life? I should really check mine as well. Oh,
I hope it will.
still here, yeah. I'm okay.
Yeah, let's hope it will be okay. I'll just give you.
Yeah, we've only got a couple more questions anyway, so let's go.
Yes, I'll just give you very shortly. I brought my oh, sorry, I just have this. I brought the first 10 pair of shoes home with me in maybe February 16. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. February.
Cool.
Sorry,
Yes,
I was
the first.
like somebody.
Yeah, no problem. I was just, I hoped it worked. I brought the first 10 pairs home in February 16.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, I'll just ask my friends what they think, and make a very small event just for my friends. So I made an event. I put up an event, and I was using an old page for another project I did. And it didn't have a lot of followers, but I just used that page to, put up the event. And I thought, okay, we'll just ask my friends. And then it just exploded, as I told you. It was crazy. Like in maybe a couple of weeks, I had 4,000 people saying they were interested in coming in Copenhagen. It was so crazy. I'm still like, I get the chills when I think about it, like goosebumps. It was really crazy. I think it was something, when things go viral, they can really go very far. Yes. And I think, in 2016, it could go really far. I hope it still can. But then I got I thought, okay, so it's now or never. So that was my catapult start. So I called my best friend in Senegal that I'm also working with now, very close friend. And I told him, he's called Mamadou. And I told him, okay, Mamadou, you have to ask Silla, the very good shoemaker, ask him to find more skilled shoemakers, because we have to do a lot of shoes. Yeah. So it was actually that kind of start. And then I bought a ticket, and I just went to Senegal very quickly. Yes. And I told people for the event, I said that, okay, I'm expanding, I'm
proposing.
I'm moving the date, a little bit into postponing. Sorry. Yeah. I'm postponing it 1 month, so I can get more shoes for you, because I had 10 pairs for thousands of people. So I went there. I went to Dakar very quickly, and we just did a very quick searching for materials, the right materials, getting the right shoemakers, making shoes, and then we had only the 2 models in the beginning, 2 different kind of shoes.
Just different prints.
Yes, and then we did. I think we did around 500 pairs almost. I think we did 300 of one and 200 of another model for the first event, something like that. Very quickly, and just finding out shipping and logistics and taxes and I don't know, all these things. But it worked, and we got them to Denmark, and we set up for the event. And it was in a wine bar, like a small bar in Copenhagen that one of my friends have. I just borrowed it because it had to go, be fast. And when we opened, we had a long queue going both ways down the street. For all day, there was a long queue. So it was crazy. And we did it 2 days with queuing and so many people. And that actually catapulted our also economically, so we could do, the next production, because we had a good sale.
Amazing.
So it was great.
So you, just asking, your background is design. Were you trained designer and you worked at the brands?
Yeah, I was trained, I have an MA in art and design from Denmark, and I was working actually freelance and doing some, I'm both product designer and visual communications designer. Okay. So it was great for me to work with products again, because I worked a lot with web design and logo design and stuff like that. So
you're just an
for me, it
awesome
was
woman, awesome talented woman. That's what you are.
thanks. Thank you.
You want to be shy about it, but you are.
But the following thing, I have to say one thing about getting the following. Of course, it's very good to do like these events and stuff, and visually be very strong visually. It's just a few very important advice. Be strong visually. Always take very good photos. Don't use ugly photos. Just use very nice photos. And also be very personal. If you dare to be personal, that's the best thing you can do. If you dare to tell the stories, your own stories, and people you work with, that's the best, really, I would say. To not be shy about that.
You know what? That was going to be what I was going to ask anyway, like the kind of tips and advice.
Okay.
I mean, that's great with the social media, but in general, I know your phone may depart from us. So what tips and advice would you give to those here who may want to set up, well, they're here because they do want to set up a business in Africa, especially the fact that you are in Europe, you're not live in Africa. I know your experience is a bit different because you had 20 years going back and forth and so forth, but what advice, if there's 3 big tips or advice you could give? Probably get asked this all the time, but Africa.
But actually, I would say, like, I have the 20 years, but I would say to people, Jacqueline is your 20 years. You know, you're the link there. So people can do that if they have you. I would say, if they have you. I'm just thinking something like that right now.
I didn't tell her to say that.
No, definitely not. She didn't pay me anything. Why don't you? No, sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Sorry. Bad Danish humor. No, 3 advices. I would say that people have to be actually quite adaptive. I would say try to, have a positive mindset, and be adaptive to what will come. If you have an idea, it's not certain it will be exactly like that, but maybe it will be even better, if you like adapt to the circumstances. I would say that that's one of the things I'm really using all the time. Then I think, of course, what I already said, one of the most important things is to know your makers, know the people you work with. And I don't just mean like not only the names, but much more than that,
Yes.
To know people personally, I would say, is definitely the best thing. And the culture is also super important. And then, I would say the things, investing yourself, like personally, I feel that's kind of one of my very important
what does that
messages.
Mean? What does that mean?
I think for me it definitely means that if you want to do it, you have to like really do it 100%. You have to like really invest yourself, and you have to know that you will probably work a lot, but it will be fantastic. I mean, you will have so many great experiences, and you will probably work at very crazy hours sometimes, but it will all be worth it if you like really invest yourself personally, also in like I said, social media. If you can do that, I know it's not everybody that can, but if you can, it's good. I would say, but definitely just in the production, also when talking to people, be yourself. Like, don't have too much of a distance. I think it's good to be like really open when you produce, when you are in, connecting on social media, and also to get great networks. I mean, we also just met each other through a friend, and we just met once, right? We should meet soon.
I'm coming over. I need to come over.
Yes, but so I guess that's my 3 advices: to invest yourself personally, and know your makers, know the culture, very important. And then
flexible and adapt.
Be flexible, adapt, and be positive. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. So guys, I mean, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ida has been on this journey. She's still going strong with it. Um, you're still selling the brand at the moment. This is just 3 years of her setting up, and she had an amazing following. But all those social media tips, yes, very, very important. And that's why I say to those I'm working, just even start from now. Start putting out your branding, putting out your ideas. We spoke about branding yesterday, brand mindset. But all of those things, invest in yourself. You know, when you build a business in Africa, you can create 3 things, but you're going to need 3 things. So the things that you will need is to be committed in time, energy, and finance. You have to commit those 3 things to be able to have success in your business in Africa, which Ida has already done. She's put time in. She spent years before. She spent years during it. And then she put energy in. She went out to Africa, to Senegal. She put energy to create an event. You know, all of that. She put financing because she had to pay for samples. She had to pay for shipping. She had to do all of this stuff. So she's done time, energy, and financial investment that she's committed herself to. And then the 3 things that you can then build from having African business is, number 1, you're building impact on the ground because you're creating work, you're creating new communities, new networks in Africa. Yes, time, Yolanda. Yes, that's what you've invested. You're creating impact in Africa. You're creating a legacy business in Africa because you're building something that never existed before. Ida Dakar never existed in 2014 and 15, but she created that. And then you're also creating the 3rd thing is money. There's no point having a business if it doesn't make money, because how you post it, Ida said she did that, made those 200 pieces, 100 pieces for the launch event, then she used it to go back and do more production. So you can't go back and do more production if you're not making money, okay? So impact, what did I say? You create impact, you create a legacy, and you create finance when you create a business in Africa, okay? But you need to invest time, you need to invest energy, and you need to invest finance.
That's super important. I forgot to say that. I'm always saying to people, you have to spend money to earn money. That's super, super important.
What's that saying? You've got to accumulate what's that saying? Anyone knows that saying? You've got to...
I just always say it like, you got to spend money to earn money.
You've got to put in to take out.
Yeah, something like that. But it's really important and not to be afraid of that because it will come back.
It does. I mean, look at it's a scientific law. It's a natured law. You know, trees and plants, they give out oxygen and they take in CO2. That's correct, right? They get it the right way around. That's the science. They give out oxygen. We breathe the oxygen, the O2, which they give out, but then they take in CO2. So you have to speculate to accumulate. That's it. But everything in nature kind of is cyclic. We have a bit of a waste problem at the moment. Oh, she's gone. Her battery died. We have a bit of a waste problem. But thank you, Ida, if you watch in any other way, or if you watch this back later. Thank you so much. But that's why we have a bit of a waste problem at the moment in fashion, because we need to look at things the way of giving and give and return. It's not just goes one way. You don't just expect to be making money and not be able to put anything in. You know, she said you must invest in yourself. You must invest in your business. You must invest in the things that you want. You want to buy your materials and all that. You're going to make product that you're going to make money back from it as well. So I want you to get over that. Even she was saying, I didn't get her to say that. Even she was saying, you've got to be scared, not be scared of that, because it's going to come back to you. You need to change your money mindset. Change the way that you look at money and finance, because I've done it before, invested in myself, and I've seen the rewards. Even up to now, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. If I never did that ethical fashion masters and that I was invested in, I would not be where I am today. Wouldn't. If I never did that fashion degree, I would never be where I am today because I didn't put the money in. So really do consider that, guys. And